Hi Aquarius, and welcome to your 2021 reading, where we will look into a significant energy playing out for you throughout the years and your strengths to pull upon and some advices and where you will be coming into next year. If you saw last week's reading, it's similar to that, meaning it's not going to be like a January, February, March and all that. It's more like a spiritual reading, I would say. Also, last week we looked into the 2020, right? How you grown and the wisdom and all of that, and we looked into an energy that may come to play a role here. And as opposed to 2020, this year it showed up as the energy, right? As forward movement. So let's see how that plays out. Also, it is a general reading, so some messages may be for you, some may be for others. You can come back and revisit this reading throughout the year to see, because it is like one general energy and seeing how it plays out. And so for some of you, it may play out continuously, right? You can check out last week's reading to see how this is a similar reading, right? It's a similar reading. So let's start by looking into an important energy for Aquarius. Knight of Cups. Well, you have a lot of knights here this year, right? Last time you had the Knight of Wands, then you had Knight of Pentacles underneath the deck, and we started out with the Knight of Pentacles underneath the deck as well. Now we have the Knight of Cups. So it is forward movement. It's aligning passion with your heart, a similar energy to the 2020 reading here. Let's look into a context for it. Give me a context for the Knight of Cups, and then I will tell you more about it. Give me a context for this, for the 2021 for Aquarius. 2021 for Aquarius. Is strength, and then we have King of Cups. Something about a King of Cups for you, I have to say. Alright, so this is you following your dreams, having the audacity to do so, also having the audacity to be sensitive. Let's just, who do we have following Aquarius? Aquarius, who's after you? Aquarius? Pisces. I actually believe this is the Aquarius Pisces Cups. But yeah, anywho. Because he has vision, that's what the Aquarian energy is about, having visions, daring to look forward, but also with dreams, This is a very, very spiritual energy, I have to say. But it is also sweet and in an energy that requires a lot of freedom, because this knight likes to see the world. It plays out within the strength energy. I have to say, alright, give me a minute here. Because when I look underneath the deck, there are some things that we need to look at. But we have here, this is an energy that requires you to have a lot of grace and dignity. This is the Leo energy, strength. It's the energy of having integrity, believing in the best of people, nobility, humility as well, right? Humility. Being humble, is that humility? To be humble, right? Not just going overly pride, but also like having a focus of controlling oneself rather than trying to control your environment. And with the King of Cups underneath here, it plays out in a way where emotions are going to have a significant energy here for you this year, and emotional balance and regulation will be of importance in regards to the people that you interact with. There might be someone here coming into your life or being in your life that requires you to have a kind relationship to yourself and also to other people, right? To not be, let's say something here, you experience some kind of a turbulence and not start shaming yourself or other people. I really feel with the Aquarian, in my experience, they tend to shame themselves, right? And they can lash out a little bit, but we all can. But to be kind, actually, to be kind and to use that kindness to follow your dreams. And especially when I have to say, we also have this past energy, this soulmate energy here that you might be rejecting. When it comes to your emotions, there may be some kind of a boredom and some kind of a rejection, and what you will be rejecting are people who come in here with dishonest intentions. So there is, this is a yearly reading. There will be, let's just say, there will be a need this year here to have some kind of a regulation, possibly within your family. There may be a family member here or family dynamic that's a bit sneaky when it comes to how they secure their stability, right? There is an energy here also underneath of you pursuing your own stability. Also doing it in a way where you're very, very smart and intelligent, by the way. You may be an underdog in some cases. But also an energy of like reconciling with the past, especially those past pain points we looked into in the last week reading here. There is a wounded energy, some kind of a toxic tie related to possibly a particular person here who is emotionally, are they abusive? They may come off as that, but they are just very, no they're not. No, it doesn't have to be that. It's just a person here who's let's see. Someone here comes, if they're Capricorn, is fine because the devil here. If no, it doesn't. Of course not. If they're toxic, they're toxic. It's just there's an energy here that's associated with some kind of a pain point here, right? Coming towards you very quickly. It is a wounded energy, or you have been left wounded here. But there is a brand new opportunity here. However, I do see you throughout the year here. Please be mindful, Aquarius. I do sense as though you might. Well, there is forward movement here, coming into alignment with your path. It's just very important that you stay hopeful and not give in to those pessimistic tendencies, right? Okay, with that being said, let's look into the strength you can pull upon this year. So this is an underlying energy of following your heart. But I also got this learning to deal a little bit with disappointment, and yeah, anywho. But you'd already been through that, so this is you following your heart. This is a beautiful, especially coming in from last week. The energies there were quite rough, right? So this is beautiful. This means that you have not been fully, no one have taken away that sweet, sensitive side of yours. So one more strength. Are you kidding me? And Nine of Cups. Okay. Then we have the Hermit. Okay, your strength this year is your ability to pull upon your sense of victory. You had successes. Whatever happens here, remember that the times in your life where you actually won. Well, in this case, it would say that you were actually recognized. For some of you, yeah. We also have silent victories. What are silent victories? Those are the victories that are not acknowledged as by norm. For instance, how do we recognize by norm? Right, let's say that you go through school and you get a certificate. That certificate is a symbol of having reached a particular status. For instance, I'm just, Aquarius, if you're new to my readings, I do this. Sometimes I give examples, right? It's how it is. I just wanted to give an example here of, what are silent victories, because they are just as important as acknowledged victories, because people, if they forget to celebrate also the silent victories, they throw themselves into a low self-esteem. So silent victories, what are those? Well, for instance, all right, let's give a few of them. Let's say for those who have actually escaped a toxic connection, a abusive relationship, emotionally, physical, whatever, that's a silent victory. You don't really get a certificate saying that, right? You can't really, first, yeah, you can actually speak up about it, but it's not, or being able to say no to situations that you don't want in your life. Those are also silent victories, like social victories. Silent victories are having pulled through a very, very difficult time and still being able, for instance, to have hope and have dreams and not fall into pessimism. That's a silent victory. Silent victories are breaking the chains that bind you. Let's say it like that. You don't really get a certificate, like if, let's say, you you graduate with top marks, right? I don't know what it's like in your cultures, but for instance, in where I am, unfortunately, it's come into this very, very negative spiral where you are only, even if you graduate, if you're really, really from a snobbish family. Fortunately, I've seen that. They exist. You only celebrate it if you reach top mark or something like that, right? And then you may graduate, but maybe you got a D or something. I don't know. Was D that passed? I don't know. But let's say you didn't graduate with an A plus. I don't know. Grades, yeah. And you then they're not celebrating the same way, right? It's the same thing as like winning. Let's do sports here. If you reach the second place, not the first place, the second place is still a particularly good, spot. Or just having finished the bloody marathon. You know all of those, right? It really depends on where you are. Personally, I'm from a family where we celebrate. What my brother used to say, everything below, everything above the minimum passing grade is, that's just, what's that word in English? Sucking up to the teacher or something like that. You just need to pass, then you get through. That tells you everything about me. But, you know, those are silent and victories, right? Your strength ought to pull upon all the victories, acknowledged or silenced. And especially when it comes to dealing with your emotions here, right? There may have been competition you won over. There may be just, you know, you know, whatever victory you have, because I also see you guys actually possibly getting a wish fulfillment this year, alright? To be honest, throughout the year here, when you have grace and dignity and you stand in your own power, you will have victory. You will feel victorious, especially when you have a fine balance in regards to your emotions. We will look into these a bit more. And there's emotional independence. Emotional independence here for you, and that gives you this strong core. Those are strengths you have. But remember, these require a positive attitude, not like a toxic positivity, but like a healthy attitude of, yes, shit happens, but don't shame yourself is what I'm getting here. Show me more about the Six of Wands. Turned into a long one there. Six of Wands is clarified by the Knight of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. No, Ace of Cups, sorry. Okay. Guys, there's a love coming to you very, 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 very quickly. It may be an old friend or family member, whatever. Something here is going to spark your heart. Give me the King of Cups. Eight of Swords. Okay, guys. Two of Swords. Yes, give me Nine of Cups. It requires, alright, we need to talk about your sense of independence. Yeah. Alright. First and foremost, when it comes to the Six of Wands, right? Your strength is your ability to grab the opportunities by listening to your heart. Letting your heart guide you to grab those opportunities. And then maybe, yeah, you are seen, you're beautiful, you are Aquarian, we're in the Aquarian age, right? So, you know, in all cases, opportunities for love here, but please be mindful, because for some of you Aquarians, I'm just gonna say, of course this goes for all signs in general, look out for people who are emotionally unavailable, right? And who are making decisions based on their ego, who then judge you upon you. For instance, let's say they don't acknowledge your silent victories, right? Look out for those people, and look out for people who are who put you into positions where you don't have all the answers. Be mindful when that happens. Pull upon that, you know, your emotional strength, or being able to deal with uncertainty, and rather than going into like this mental prison mode, right? Stay grounded in your emotions. Don't allow anyone to play with your emotions. Emotional manipulators or tricksters can, you know, they will, I have to say, you will run into them all the time. Not just in love, they are in work, they are in society. I mean, you can go into all that debate. Just have that inner control, that inner confidence, your faith in yourself, a healthy optimism. Not a self-entitlement, you know, but it's a healthy optimism, saying, you know what, you may not recognize that I won third prize, or what, just the fact that you completed the marathon. You may not have reached the top, you know, the one that being celebrated, but this person may not recognize it and make you feel less. But if you are able to recognize, saying, you know what, I pulled through, I worked my butt off, and maybe I didn't expect to continue, and I pulled myself up and I still continued, those kind of victories, right? Pull upon those. So be able to celebrate yourself, and of course, as always, surround yourself with quality people. Something about this King of Cups is going to be very important here for you this year. That's your emotional regulation. Another strength is that you were able to do this because you have emotional independence. You are not dependent. Your emotional happiness, your happiness, is not dependent on the opinions of others. pull upon that. That will be your strength. And there we have the optimism. Even in times where someone is breaking your heart, you have, or someone here brings harsh words your way, you still have optimism. Because this is going to be a challenge of falling into pessimism, right? Don't do that. When someone leaves, it's because this is a cycle that's supposed to end, especially if they make you feel as though you were just being used here, or they're a trickster, right? They don't know breadcrumbing here, and they actually hurt your heart rather than guiding and being there for you and giving you this, that homecoming environment, right? That's just for some of you, wherever this may play out. Because it is a very emotional energy for you this year. It's a beautiful energy. And it could be playing out within your family, I have to say, right? There may be a coupling within your family that's very, very passionate and very, very, very driven. Or you could have Capricorn in your chart and be chased by some kind of a King of Wands. Or you do, I don't know. I just keep seeing the King and the Queen of Wands here as well, right? I really love it. Alright. So, those are your strengths here. Let's see into an advice, and when I'm not going to pull an advice for the year, and then we're going to look into where you are then coming into 2022. And for the advice, I'm going to do it a very particular way. Let's start by pulling an advice here for you. But all right, that came out there. Yeah, I would take that in reverse. To don't see fantasies, to see reality. Even when you have a lot of opportunities available to you, make sure you make a decision here. There may be a past situation coming back to you. Well, it's for some of you, yeah, it's a situation that comes back to you physically. For others of you, it's the emotions that are coming back. All right. If it's not serving you, it's okay to let it go. Especially if it brings this energy or that's fast forward movement and it's passionate. It's far more passion than it is emotion, right? Be mindful of that, because that could derail you. But let's pull this advice as well here for you. You have opportunities out there. Just make sure you make a decision. Don't get caught up in any kind of fantasy. Yeah. So forward movement here, right? God. Stuck on everything. All right. Forward movement from the reading last week. Forward movement coming your way. There is still forward movement here. Alright, give me an advice. For Aquarius 2021. The Lovers and the High Priestess. I'm gonna read you the Lovers because these cards come with beautiful messages. And I will show you this is the most beautiful Lovers card you can ever find, Aquarius. Alright. Are you ready? Here in my eyes. The Lovers are the electricity between contrasted energies, the choices between methods of survival and the discovery of a pristine middle ground. The Lovers are a sacred point where powers merges from the spine. The Lovers are the feeling of warmth and belonging, the meeting where you felt hurt and the gathering where you felt alive. The Lovers are two halves of a whole, intuitively joined at the hip and made for one another. The Lovers intersect at moments of calm resilience and moments of pain and dysphoria, and they offer the wisest connection. They offer a connection that truly reciprocates, one that truly holds you. It can be a person, a place, your mind, and your body. The Lovers ask you to trust this. The Lovers remind us that love does not exist as one narrative where our connections are limited to people and places outside ourselves. The Lovers the love is inconstant in a full heart or an aching spine. It's the decaying leaves of trees in autumn that remind us that struggle and change can exhibit our most colorful talents. As the universe offers pipe dreams, delusions, and wayward paths, the Lovers ask you to embrace the indestructible bond that honors you for you. That's it. So the advice here throughout the year is to remember everything you have done. Just when looking at your past here, everything that the mindsets that you've been able to walk away from, every time you were able to say no to people who, even just to, things that you were passionate about, because it was not It was not for you, especially people who came into your life and left like a trail of chaos. You said no, you cannot be caught up in this illusion, this fantasy. You choose yourself. Yeah, you choose other people. Yeah, you choose love and all that. But you choose your dream. And other than also another thing is here, your ability to follow your dreams, not just having dreams and putting them in some kind of a drawer and not acting upon it. Rather than just sitting there dreaming what can be, make the decision on one dream and follow it, right? Follow out on what you might have neglected a while ago in the past year, because it's a very, very emotional energy. You see all these cups, 6 of Cups here as well, right? You deserve this kind of a break, and there is movement here, but it. Last week we had the Knight of Wands, right? It's a forward, it's a passionate movement here. This year, remember to combine your passion with your heart, right? Your love as well, to not get caught up in any kind of confusion. So, High Priestess here, right? Listen to your intuition when you make decision and choose love, and be fine with working with it. And because I have to say, there's a strong devil energy as well that brings pain points here, but you have it within you to walk away from it whenever you look at how you have been able to do so before. Right? Now, I'm not saying that every time you stumble across something that's hard, then it's toxic. No, you put in the work, but you will know when it's not good for you, not really good for you. Right. Let's look in here to where you will be coming into 2022. Where will Aquarius be coming into 2022? You will be planning towards the future. Come on. Alright, so that's it. You will be making a decision in regards to where you're going to go into the future. There may still be a little bit of a wounded energy here within you, especially if you've forgotten to choose yourself, right? Things will be up in the air. For some of you, I have to say, for some of you Aquarians, coming into 2022, your energies will be up in the air. You will be busy. A new path will be made, right? This year, for some of you, you are also going through just a journey of choosing yourself, right? And walking your own path. Alright, let's say like this. If you fall prey to fantasy, if someone here comes, for some of you, I have to say, there may come someone in selling you a dream, and they're doing so from their ego, and they're not really emotionally available, but yeah. And they may touch your heart space, leaving you in this position where you don't really know which direction to take. They may ghost you. All of that. If you find yourself just remotely going into a situation where someone here, at your core, you feel as though, I feel disrespected right now. Don't get caught up in any kind of fantasy that they're just confused. They're just, they don't know, but I just need to give them a chance, and then they give them another chance, and they give them another chance until you end up like a wounded warrior. I also saw the Three of Swords here, which was why I decided no. But yeah, in all cases, Three of Swords, Nine of Wands, I can't get out of it. There's a potential here for someone ending up, either you end up wounded waiting, having a lot of things up in the air, not being balanced, being someone's stepping stone, or you continue through this path here and you end up with a lot of resilience, a lot of inner strength, and choosing yourself here. There may even be a very significant connection here that might be a little bit up in the air, maybe even be a little bit on a pause. What is up with this King of Wands? Right, in all cases, you will be standing somewhere where you are making a decision where you want to go next. Planning towards the future. You will be busy. But you will have a lot of resilience, right? Especially if you know how to choose yourself and listen to your own voice. So it's all in all, I would say it's a good year. It's a good year. Show me more. You will have closed out a cycle, and you will have learned to say no to offers that are not beneficial for you. Yeah, there might be situations where you're meant in your mind this year. Be careful, right? There may be mindsets here that you actually left behind, but because you came into your body. But the moment you came into your body, someone here may sneak their way back in, especially within a family dynamic, Aquarius. I really get it as within a family dynamic. That someone here comes and then sneak their way back in. It may not have to be the worst nightmare. It's just an energy here that's a little bit deceptive, and it could also be your own, like for instance making excuses for people, right? It could also be that, especially if they don't deserve it. Like, I believe in giving people chances, right? But remember, trust is earned. If you're dealing with someone here who again and again and again and again continuously has shown you how reliable, but you give them the trust that they earn, right? Give them the trust that they earn. Don't give them people more than they actually deserve. That's the boundary. Saying it's not because you're going to cut off people up because they completely disown you, just depending on the situation, right? But it's more like knowing when to give and when to ask for something in return. You know. It's the balance, right? It's the equal give and take. And that plays out in work, in love, in families, everything, right? So that is what I have for you. Happy New Year. I will see you next time. Ciao, Aquarius.